I didn't show this earlier because you'll get confused. But now, since you know we are calling this function, you'll understand the flow of it. Okay, so there are two function libraries. In my keyword generic function, I'm taking the test case name. Using that test case name, I'm passing three keywords. That is, I'm calling execute flow three times with three parameters. That is login, create order, and logout. These parameters are passed to my execute flow function, and this is my execute flow function. So what it's gonna do is, for the first keyword, that is login, this keyword is caught over here. Okay, login variable is caught over here. Flow name I've given the name as. Now if login equal to login, then fn login will be called. Okay, this is nothing but a simple nested if, not nested if. There are multiple ifs. If flow name is login, then fn login will be called. If flow name is create order function will be called. If the flow name is logout, then logout function will be called. So the flow name is used for this purpose. So the first iteration wherein the flow name is wherein I'm passing login as the parameter, it will match this if condition and it will enter this if, wherein fn login will be executed. That is, this function fn login will be executed. For the second time, the keyword which is passed is create order. Third is logout. So for create order, the script will enter this if part and it will execute fn create order, which is over here. So this function will be executed. So now I guess it will start making sense to you how this functionality is being executed. Okay, so till now I have not started with the main script. Okay, I've just used two function libraries. One is having the generic script, which is taking the test case name, and based on that it is picking the keywords from the Excel sheet, and it is calling a function called as execute flow, and it is passing these keywords to the execute flow function. These what execute flow function is doing is using that keywords, it is executing the different functions which I've already created. Now my two function libraries are ready. Now if you understand what I'm trying to explain you here, there'll be one question, that where is this test case name coming from? Okay, because you know that once you receive the test case name, you get the keywords, and using that keywords my different functions are executed. And all this is done with the help of this simple Excel sheet from wherein the values are picked up, keywords are picked up based on the test case name. Now the question which will come to your mind is, how is this variable test case name getting the value from? So it is nothing but your main action sheet, which is passing the test case name to my fn read keywords function. Okay, now the test case is for create order. So let's say I name this test as create order. So one thing I would like you to note is, let's say we'll name the test case in the same way as it is on the sheet. Okay, in same format. So create space order. I'll save it in my keyword framework folder. And let's say this test case name is create order. And I'm saving it. Okay. And once my test case is created, I need to associate these two function libraries, otherwise it won't work. So I'll go to settings, file settings, and then here I have to go to resources. Now these are the default functions which I don't need for my current test. Now I can add using this keyword and keyword generic. So I'll add both of these functions. And I'll add the second one. So I've added the two function libraries to my test, so I can use the functions now. I can call the functions in this function libraries without any hesitation. Now this is my main script, where that is the main test case create order. Now the motive of this test case is to pass the test case name, that is create order, to read keywords function, which is taking the test case name in this parameter. So how do I do it? Now this should sound simple to you. So for create order it will be fn read keywords, right? This is the name of the function which is taking the test case name. Okay, fn read keywords, and you have to simply give in double quotes the string name, that is create order. Okay, now what my main script will contain only this, that's it, nothing else. This is how my framework is ready. This is my first test case. I can save it as create order in my local file system. Now similarly I can create my second test case. I can create my second test case, new test, and I can call the function, but this time for the second test case, which is update order, I'll pass the parameter as update order. So I'll write update order. So as you can see, my main script has nothing but a single line which that is calling the function fn read keywords, and again I'll name it as update order. And why I'm saying is the test case name has to be in this particular format, that is update and order with a space, which is same as the one in my sample sheet, because there's a purpose to serve. I'll let you know how, what. Okay, so I've saved my test case. So as you can see, my keyword framework is ready. Now just let's do a recap so that you'll understand the flow, how this flow is actually going to work. First of all, what we did is we created this Excel sheet which is having the test case name, and we broke it down to the functionalities and created the keywords. Now second thing what we did is we created a function library which is having all this functionality in code form. Okay, so I've created this. The third thing was I created another function library, since it is which is a generic and not application based, which will take the test case name, and based on that it will pick the keywords from my sample sheet. Suppose for create order it will pick these 3 keywords, and one by one it will pass it as a parameter to execute flow function. Okay, so this function is doing nothing. It will taking the test case name, and using the test case name it will select the keywords from the Excel sheet, and it will pass it on to a function which is execute flow. Then what we did is we created the function execute flow. Now this function does nothing but it takes the keyword which was passed earlier, and based on that keyword it will execute the function. Okay, one by one, so whatever the keyword is.